Kansas agency investigated girl's family 5 times before she was killed, a report shows. Child welfare officials investigated the family of a 5-year-old Kansas girl 5 times in the 13 months before she was raped and killed, but couldn't confirm allegations of neglect or drug use by her mother, and the family repeatedly declined offers of help, a report released Tuesday showed. The report by the State Department of Children and Families said in one case, the agency confirmed that the mother wasn't properly supervising Zoey Felix, but the girl was placed with her father, and because of that, no safety concerns were identified. After receiving allegations in late August of drug use and lack of utilities in the home, child welfare officials made 7 failed attempts to reach the family over the next month. On October 2, Zoey died after fire crews couldn't resuscitate her at a gas station. Neighbors believe Zoey and her father had been camping in a grove of trees on a vacant lot nearby. Michael Cherry, a 25-year-old homeless man, is charged with first-degree murder, rape and capital murder, and could face the death penalty. Authorities haven't said how Zoey died. Zoey Felix's death was an unacceptable tragedy, Governor Laura Kelly said in a statement. Kelly said she plans to push for legislation next year that would expedite the release of information when a child dies of abuse or neglect. Currently, DCF only releases a summary of its involvement initially and can't do so until attorneys vet the document. Typically, the full case reports aren't released until after the prosecution is completed, which can take well over a year. This has left an information vacuum in Zoey's case that was exacerbated Tuesday when a judge sealed the arrest affidavit that was used to support criminal charges against Cherry. Cherry's attorney, Mark Manor, of the Kansas Death Penalty Defense Unit, has declined to comment. Neighbors said Zoey wandered their neighborhood dirty and hungry. Several reported calling child welfare to express concerns. According to the summary from DCF, child welfare officials said they received the first tip about Zoey on September 8, 2022, alleging poor conditions in the home and possible drug use in the presence of a child. By then, she had been charged with domestic battery against her husband and teenage daughter, court records show. Another complaint alleging an unsupervised child was lodged with the agency on November 8, 2002. The DCF summary made no reference to Zoey's disappearance, and it was unclear whether that prompted the complaint. Later that month, Zoey's mother was arrested after crashing her car near a North Topeka bar while driving drunk with Zoey in the front seat. A sworn statement from the officer said she had difficulty standing up straight. He also wrote that in looking into her car, he saw 2 open bottles of vodka, one half full and the other, 3/4 full. The officer said that in interviews, Zoey said her mother had been drinking from both bottles before and while driving. The DCF summary said welfare workers left Zoey in her father's care. Court records show he was living with a girlfriend at the time. Zoey's mother was jailed until March, when she pleaded guilty to felony aggravated battery and driving under the influence and was sentenced to probation. Zoey's father was evicted from his apartment in May. Another tip the agency received that month alleged there were no operating utilities in the mother's home, but the agency found the home to be livable, with utilities, food and no signs of drugs. Again, the family declined services. Then on August 29, another complaint alleged drug use and no utilities, prompting the 7 failed attempts by the agency to contact the family in September. But during that time, police went to the home twice, once even tracking down Zoey and talking to her. The second time police responded, an officer stood outside as belongings were retrieved from the house, a police report said. Police reports do not explain where Zoey, her sister, her father and Cherry went after that, but neighbors said they were living in a makeshift camp. Laura Howard, the top administrator for the Department for Children and Families, vowed to launch a thorough investigation.